It was easy. No, not really. Yeah, so I played Clash Royale for 30 hours straight. Here is the proof in the Twitch VOD. As you can see, 30 hours I was live for, playing Clash Royale on call, back to back to back. Constantly gaming. Now, how do I feel? So, to start the stream, I'm going to walk around the house, screw it. I started the stream as soon as I woke up in the morning. So, I basically woke up, ate breakfast, and I was live. And, you know, from that moment on, I had a light in my eyes, people in the chat, playing games, people on the call, constantly being stimulated. So there were plenty of things that kept me up. And basically how it started was, you know, first 10 hours, it's like being awake for 10 hours, right? It's fine. First 15 hours, okay, you know, it's like a normal day has been complete now at this point. And then eventually I got to, I think I remember getting to like the 17-hour mark or something, and I just started yawning, partly because I was jet lagged. I actually got back from the UK under a week ago. And so when I was streaming, I hadn't fully adjusted to my new time zone. So I remember I was yawning and stuff, blah, blah, blah. But you just have to power through when you're feeling tired and you're yawning. So I powered through and I started feeling more awake again. And when I started feeling awake, I felt awake all night for me because I started feeling tired at like 5 p.m. my time. But then I went through the whole night, 5 to like midnight to 6 a.m. And I was feeling awake because once you power through a bit of tiredness, you can't constantly be tired. Your body kind of wakes itself up. It's like, right, okay, you're not going to let me sleep. Let's keep going. You're clearly wanting to push through. But I kept doing that. So after I started feeling awake again, I went through a massive period of feeling awake, right up to about the 24 hour mark maybe. And then when I got to that point, I was like, okay, I am so tired. I don't want to speak. And so I remember I was just sitting there on the stream silently, kind of just playing because I was like, okay, this is the only way I can cope because I've been talking the whole stream to people. I've been playing Clash Royale back to back and it's getting a bit tiring. And so I remember I got up to try and go for a walk because I thought that would energize me around my house. And I remember just walking around and everything was kind of just like, it was like loopy, it was wavy. I remember just feeling my head's not right. It was like I was on some kind of like drug or something. Everything was just kind of like, oh, and I had to like stabilize myself and sit down and I was like, this is not right. And so what I did was I went outside the house and I literally just touched grass and let the sunlight hit my skin for a few minutes because I was like, oh, this is healthy. And one thing that doesn't help is obviously food is quite important in surviving as a human. But when you eat, when you are that sleep deprived, you start to get cramps in your stomach. It's almost like your digestive system just shuts down when you start eating at that point. And so I just stopped eating, or I started eating very bland foods like a wrap and just that's it, like bread and stuff, because I knew it wasn't going to flare out my stomach. Because if you have like onions or beans or something, it's going to make you want to go to the toilet, and it's going to be the most painful toilet experience of your life. It gives you massive cramps and usually nothing will come out. It's not very fun. And so anyway, when we got to about the 30-hour mark when we ended the stream, I was awake again because I had gotten through that. When I was sitting there quietly, I had like regained the energy again. It just goes in cycles of energy and not energy. So I regained my energy again and I was like, all right, I'm ready to go. So we did end it for health reasons at 30 hours. But basically the consensus of it is it's all just about like your headspace and willpower. You can power through till you die if you really want to. You will just feel tiredness, and if you keep yourself awake through things like Clash Royale, which is like a blue light on your eyes, which you're not meant to do before you go to sleep, that's the whole thing, and you know, stimulus and all your senses, you will stay awake. You will feel tired, but you will stay awake, and you can power through if you do it correctly to the point where you die. And yeah, so I just basically kept doing that. I reckon I could have gone 48 hours before I started, okay, like this is very, very dangerous for my health. But yeah, I didn't get to there, and after sleeping for 14 hours, I felt a little tired later the next day, but otherwise I'm all good, my doggies. Yeah, so that's my experience. Thank you for watching my choppers, and I'll see you next time.